passive-aggressive episode.
Okay. But it's very Steven Wilson, the passive-aggressive thing.
About this, I have to say a very nice fun fact that when Gavin Harrison, the drummer, first met Steven Wilson, he said in an interview that he thought just, what an arrogant dick, and I think we will have to beep it, but this was the first impression. Then probably Steven found that Gavin Harrison is the best drummer he ever listened to, and just, said, we can work with this guy. But anyway, he also played the bass in this record, and basically their previous bassist, Colin Edwin, the story you told, it would be much better, because they basically didn't call him to play the bass. That's much worse, actually.
That's really... I mean, you're really a piece of to do that. I say, I play with my friends except you.
Exactly. The actual history of this record is basically that Porcupine Tree went in a hiatus in 2010, and that's basically their first album since that period. And basically already in 2011, actually Steven Wilson and Gavin Harrison were living together like best friends, and they were meeting together, just playing random stuff, some jams that actually ended up being some of the tracks in the album. Like Harridan, for example, the first song in the record was actually one of those jams, was originated from one of those jams, but the last part of the record was actually recorded in 2021, so it's been a decade. It's nice. And at some point they said, okay, let's call also our dear friend Richard Barbieri, which is the keyboard player, and he also plays synthesizers.
It's not the Michelin star chef, right?
Maybe since Gavin Harrison is also a porn star, he can also be a chef. I mean,
no, probably it's another Barbieri. I'm getting
so.
confused.
I think so. Yeah. And he added basically synthesizers tracks
and cuts the hair of the whole band, right? No, just to know, because, Barbieri.
Have you seen Steven Wilson?
That's only in Italy. Okay. Sorry.
This is only for the Italian ones, guys. Okay, and then basically they just kept doing some random jams for some years until in 2020 something nice called COVID-19 came. And they said, okay, guys, finally we are in lockdown and we have time to complete our record. That's basically the story. So they released the Closure Continuation on the 24th of June of 2022. And it's not an excessively long album. It's 48 minutes, released by Music for Nations, which seems to be an independent British label, but when you dig, you find it's actually a division of Sony Music.
Francis, you're a bit too professional. I don't know what... did you write everything down?
No, absolutely not. Why do you say
Just checking, because you sound too professional for the podcast. So too linear, no mispronunciation of English. So I was just checking.
Mamma mia, you caught me.
You are prepared. You are totally prepared. You are totally competent in this moment.
No, that's not true. I already said that Gavin Harrison is a porn star.
Unacceptable. Okay.
And basically, it's a very, let's say... you said I'm too competent and I'm already lacking the word I'm trying to say. It's a very authentic. I was looking for authentic. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
It's a very authentic record because they said they basically recorded this album when they didn't feel any pressure from any label or any kind of pressure, for example, from the audience, because of course in 10 years they actually got more popular compared to how popular they were in 2011, but at the same time they don't care about the audience. So for those 10 years they said, okay, we're going the shit we want to do, the beep we want to do, and that's it. That's how this record was originated.
So that means that if we insult them in this review and we say that the record is totally crap, they don't get offended because they don't care.
Exactly.
Is it correct? Okay, exactly. Great.
Okay, some very general info about the record. It's their 11th studio album, and as I said, it's the first one since 2009. They actually stopped doing records because they were saying that they were... And by they, of course, I mean Steven Wilson, was saying they were not evolving, something that he always looks for in his career, and it was just more of the same. So they took this hiatus. It's I'm seeing some Italian gestures, guys. Okay, it's 7 tracks. There are 7 tracks in the record, actually 10 in the deluxe edition. But they say in interviews that they see this record as a 7 tracks record, and I have to agree, spoiler, because the 3 additional tracks, I didn't actually find them extremely good, but okay. Only 1 track is completely instrumental.
You're already spoiling everything. You have to stop to do that. So you're already saying your opinion and we are still in the technical part. If we are in the technical part, you don't need to spoil.
Mamma mia.
He's playing the incompetent card. So he's saying, okay. I'm spoiling and mixing up things. So.
Okay, Anto, if you say that he is using the incompetent card, please go ahead, continue with incompetency.
Absolutely.
Spoiler everything.
No more spoilers, guys. Sorry. We had 4 singles released from this album, which are actually Harridan, Of the New Day, Herd Calling, and Rat's Return. And
did you say Ratatouille?
Ratatouille, the TikTok musical, absolutely. You can find something in the links in the description about this, but let's not get too much into it.
I have a very incompetent question for you, but were we reviewing the deluxe or the standard edition?
The one on Spotify, actually. So it's the deluxe one. Just because we are lazy, I mean.
I reviewed just the bonus CD in the extended box set. I didn't listen to the main album.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
It will be a fun review. Please go on.
You mean the one with the bloopers, right? Okay, so it's nice to hear in the interviews that actually it's the first record from Porcupine Tree that has a more collaborative approach. Again, Steven Wilson is Steven Wilson, so in previous records he basically wrote everything and then just gave the demo to the other guys and they say, okay, we will do what you want us to do. In this case, it was much more collaborative, especially by doing jams in which Gavin Harrison was throwing random odd time signatures and Steven Wilson had to keep up with him, and there are some nice tracks.
Okay, and then I decided to scrap everything and gave only the triangle to play. You can improvise only on the triangle now.
Exactly.
And that's if you hear in very distance, the triangle is the drummer improvising on the record.
Exactly. Basically, yeah. It's also nice to know that the album's title is quite self-referential about the band reunion, because they actually are uncertain about the fact that this is a real reunion or is just a closure, something like a goodbye gift to people who listens to them. And it's cool, I think.
For sure, it's not a closure or a continuation for the bass player that wasn't there in the record.
It was a closure well before that.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely. Okay, guys, so what do you think about this record? Who wants to start?
You decide. You're the boss today. You decide.
Okay, Izzy starts today.
Oh God. Let's see what I wrote in this piece of paper that fell down. So my experience with Porcupine Tree is the fact that I listened to them probably more than 10 years ago, and then I didn't listen to them anymore, and I think it's because probably they didn't release any record, so it's pretty obvious. So about this record, the thing that I read, and Francis, you are the master here, so you can confirm. I read that they recorded everything at home. Is it correct? They use like a home studio recording. They didn't go in fancy studios and stuff like that. Is it correct?
Some tracks, yeah. Actually, some of the tracks you hear, for example, the start of Chimera's Rex, in English, it's the demo. It's actually the demo from 2011. But then, actually, some other recordings were made in professional studio record.
Okay. I thought that everything was recorded in their home studio, and they said, "Wow, that's really impressive." Okay, basta. Stop.
Some of it.
I'm not impressed anymore about the engineering, but it sounds great. The record, I have to say, I love the engineering. I love the sounds, the tones, and the playing is amazing, of course, in my opinion. And the thing I love most about the record is the groove behind the drum and bass, even if the bass is not there, bassist player. So, even though, it's very awkward, this story with the bass player. So, no, I love also the guitar playing, great production, but there is one thing, actually two things that I cannot stand in this record.
Let's hear it.
One is the singing. Sometimes I cannot bear the singing at all in this record. And the other one is the singing in combination with the strumming of the guitar. All the parts, as soon as there is a strumming, I don't know, it feels a bit flat and emotionless a bit. And I don't know if it's an intentional thing. If it's an intentional thing, fair enough. It's not my cup of tea. So I'm not a big fan of that part. So that's so in a nutshell, just to conclude a bit, my general opinion of the record is the fact that I would listen to the box set bonus CD, because in the bonus CD there are all the songs all instrumental without the singing.
Great,
much better. No, I definitely agree about the singing together with the guitar strumming, especially when it is the same note. It's like really some kind of lazy work from the creative point of view. But then, of course, I agree, the technical point of view is amazing. Anton?
Yeah, so as you said, I also got into Porcupine Tree quite lately. Mainly because I finished the video game Control, and in the end credits there was Fear of a Blank Planet from them, and I was like, what is this song? And I got it, and it became one of my favorites right away. And then I started listening to them and found out again, because I already heard it, but I don't know why it never stuck, like Sound of Music and all their stuff. This is to say, I like them, but I don't know them really in deep. And but talking about the album, I have to say I listened to it the first 2 times